Good morning. Hello, hello. Okay, allow embedding this old thing. Okay. Copy this, go over here. How are you? Live. Cool. All right, almost there. Let's grab this embed code. There has to be an easier way to do this, but until I learn what that easier way is, this is how we do it. Okay, let's see if we're live here. Yay! And we're live. Hi, good morning. Okay, just the last thing that I have to do is hit go live here and Facebook. Okie dokie. Good morning, everyone. I'm 3 minutes early to make up for being 4 minutes late for the last 2 weeks in a row. You are very welcome. It is my pleasure to serve you. Let's see. Okay, so we're not live on Facebook yet. Let's just make sure. Haha! Yay! Live all across the board. Okay, cool. Let's turn that off. I want to be able to see the comments. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Deep Ministries. Welcome to Deep Ministries Record to the Play. This is our fourth stream, our fourth weekly stream. I'm very excited to be here today. Thank you so much for joining. Today we've got some fun things we're going to talk about. So please definitely, wait, Deb is messaging me. Oh, she's saying good luck. Thanks, Deb, if you're watching this on the replay. Oh, who's here? Who is with us? Oh, Mom. Can't hear or see. I don't know, Mom. I think that might be a you thing. Can anybody else hear or see me? I hope so. Otherwise, that's going to be a disaster. Anyway, hi, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're watching this on the streaming page and you want to make comments, please note that you do have to log into like your Google account, or you have to log into, okay, you can now, thank you. Or you have to log into Discuss and create an account, or Facebook or something like that. And you can comment right on the streaming page. Or if you are watching this from Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn or YouTube, you can comment right below and I'll be able to see your comments. Okay, so the first thing before we start diving into today's topic is I want to talk about, just kind of do a little recap, what we've covered over the last couple of weeks, okay? So the first thing is the purpose of life. Remembering what the purpose of life is, okay? So there are 3 purposes. 1, to evolve, to grow, right? To continue to get better and better and better and better, and keep moving into the version of us. Good morning, Joanna, welcome. Into the version of us that we came here to be. We just keep cracking off all of that bullshit, all of that stuff that doesn't mean anything, that was projected onto us as we were growing up, and we keep evolving into our highest versions of self. Now, as we're doing this on earth, our soul is evolving at the same time. So because of all these lessons and challenges that we're going through, we're getting some really, really, really great meaty growth and development. And it's yum, yum, yum. It's so good. Okay, so purpose 1 to the huge question of why are we here is to evolve, to grow. We are either growing or we are decaying. And decaying is ick. We want to keep growing. I mean, I put some judgment on it. If you want to decay, that's totally fine, but it is our soul's natural desire to grow. And our second purpose, our second reason for being on this planet at this really crazy, tumultuous time is to experience. Um, there's something so beautiful about Earth, and there's something so fantastic about being in a human body and smelling stuff and feeling so tangibly our emotions and our emotional swings. And it's just so gorgeous. Being here to experience this planet is so fantastic. And you got to be here for it. You can't miss it. You're here now, right? So you have to experience it. And then the third reason, the third answer to the question, why are we all here, is to help others, is to bring others with us, is to, as we are evolving, we're bringing others, we're looping them in to our evolution, and we're giving them ways and means to evolve alongside of us. Got it? Okay, so I'm going to keep. Oh, hi, Kat. Good morning, Jen. Thanks for joining. So I'll make sure to keep those really present as we go through our teachings together, because this is the meaning of life. This is why we are here. This is the answer to the big question. As long as we keep remembering why we're here, right? The big three reasons, then no matter what happens that tries to throw us off our center, we'll keep coming back to center. We'll keep coming back to being present. That's the idea, that we come from a place of alignment and empowerment, and we come from a place where we feel whole, because no one is here to rescue you. We are here to rescue ourselves. There is no cavalry coming. We are already here. Okay, remember? It's up to us. And then just a little bit. Oh, hi, Linz. Good morning. And then just kind of to recap just a teensy bit of our talk last week, which, if you missed it, hi, Mara. Good morning. Thanks for joining. If you missed our talk last week, go back and watch it. It is one of the most vital pieces of your evolutionary journey while you are on this planet, which is settling into the fact, integrating the truth of there is no mountaintop. Okay. Does anybody slash everybody remember us talking about that last week? There is no mountaintop, right? There is no fantastical place that when you get there, all of your problems will be solved. Hi, Savi. Welcome. Good evening to you. There's no place that you're going to get to where you no longer have any problems. There's no level of evolution that you're going to get to while you're in this body where you are not going to have to deal and confront and overcome the challenges of life, the challenges of being in a human body. You can have all of the money in the world and it still won't be enough, because we talked about once you get to the mountaintop, oh, the good place, yay. Once you get to the mountaintop, if that's what you think, if that's how you perceive that getting to your goal is going to feel, that everything is going to be fine, there's not going to be any challenges anymore, you'll never be upset, you'll never have a heavy emotion, no trauma will ever be triggered, there'll never be any kind of anything bad happening. If you get there and you experience a challenge, boom, right? It blows up. Either, just to quickly recap, either you go into a deep depression because, well, fuck, if that was what I was reaching for and I got here, and it's not what I thought it was, then what I thought I wanted doesn't exist. And then you stop, right? And then you just don't move forward. Or you move the bar real quick. You move the bar, you elevate the bar, and you just keep running. So you have your head down and you run to your goal, and you miss it. You miss living, you miss life, right? So what we have to do, instead of continuing to like race up the mountaintop to get to this proverbial place where all of your challenges will now be solved, instead of that, we got to flatten the curve. Remember, flatten the curve so we're experiencing life as we're moving through it. So we're not racing, so we're not burning ourselves out, so we're not missing these beautiful moments. And remembering that every single mountaintop that we get to, there's always going to be another one. There will always be another mountaintop to climb. So we're never going to get to the end of that. It'll keep going and going and going until we die, until the day that we die. And even then, our souls will keep growing and evolving. I love it. Kat did her homework. Yay. Did anybody else do their homework? Tell me yes, or tell me why not. Or tell me why not. Do you not actually desire the growth that you say that you do? What is really going on if you are not doing the work? Savi, right now your goal is getting out of bed to buy butter so you can make raw cake mix so you can eat it. See, and that definitely feels like a really manageable mountaintop that you can absolutely get to, and you can enjoy the whole process. Sounds beautiful. I love it. So your homework, if you forgot, oh, Savi says, what was the homework? What are the mountaintops that you have created in your life? Like what kind of thing, what kind of panacea have you created that when you get there, everything will be solved? Is it a partner? Is it a money goal? Is it a status goal? Is it something in your business that when you get here, no more problems exist? Life is perfect and amazing and wonderful, right? What mountaintop have you created in your life? It's really important that we know where our mountaintops are, so that as we work to dissolve them, we can do it with awareness. When you do it with awareness, it's not so jarring, okay? When you're empowered within the process of dissolving those mountaintops as the panacea, the thing that fixes all, when you're dissolving that, but from a place of intention, from a place of empowerment, then you don't feel so jarred by the process. I love that, Kat. That's beautiful. Financial freedom. Yes. And I want you to go into that and what that feels like and looks like to you, because financial freedom is absolutely a viable mountaintop, right? No more debt, living below your means, and living with intention, right? Conscious choices. So that's definitely possible, but I want you to map out what that looks like to you, remembering that when you get there, when you get to each level of your mountaintop, that's not the end. Your problems are not going to magically disappear, okay? Joanna says, I've realized that I keep pushing mountaintops further away as you approach them. Whoa, because that's fucking intense, right? That doesn't even let you get there and celebrate getting there. You can see it coming and you're like, whoop, boop, and then you push it out. So you never actually get to experience and enjoy reaching the proverbial mountaintop. No wonder you're so fucking tired, dude. I mean, seriously, right? Did you realize, like, did you have like an aha moment when that hit you? You were like, oh, because you're always running. You're always running. There's no respite. There's no regeneration. There's no integration of the lessons that you've been learning. You're constantly pushing, always tired, always exhausted. Savi, your panacea is to be strong from within, even when you're not, so you can grow and enjoy life, knowing at some level you'll always be all right. See, that's so beautiful. Good morning, Karen. Thanks for joining us. That's so beautiful. I love that because, okay, there is a level I want you to be really careful with, Savi, which is that level of tendency to lean towards everything is okay, thereby invalidating your emotions when it's not okay. And I know that you have a propensity to lean towards that because we're very similar. And I can sometimes do that too. I can shove uncomfortable emotions under the carpet and come back to the place of empowerment. So just be really mindful when you when you're working towards that. Okay, be really, really present with yourself. Don't you dare. Understand? Don't you dare shove your heavy emotions under the carpet. You got to deal with them. They're coming up because you can, because you're strong enough, and you have to. That's right. Thank you for receiving that. Joanna, yes, it's like carrots being dangled in front of your face, but you can't reach it. It's fucking exhausting, man. You don't deserve to live like that, okay? So what are your mountaintops? And then the homework before that is what would or will your life look like if you don't need the money, but not from the cliched standpoint, okay, let's build some more illusions. No, let's not create some more mountaintops. But I'm serious. Like if you had passive income that covered your bills and even had a little bit of a buffer that you could count on every single month that would come in no matter what, where would you place your attention? Where would your focus be? Where would your joy be? What would you be doing with your time? Who would you be spending your time with? Because the magic about living as yourself, living as your true self, living as you came here to be, the magic of that is that the more magnetically yourself you are, the more aligned, more authentic, the more and more you're going to attract the resources and people around you, bring them around you to support what it is that you need and to support who it is that you are. Okay, so this is our ultimate goal. Our ultimate goal is to be who we are and get paid for that. It's one of the tracks of deep ministry. Living alignment is what I call it. You are who you are. And as you live as yourself, you are paid to live as yourself. Absolutely possible. Here I am, living proof of living alignment. A lot of my one-on-one clients, that's how I coach them. I coach them to live in alignment with themselves. It doesn't mean we blow anything up. It doesn't mean we destroy anything. It means we tweak and tweak and tweak and tweak until you are living completely in alignment with yourself and who you are. I love this. Yes, 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 yes. Keep sharing, guys. I want to know all about how it looks to live without worrying, is money coming in? I love that, Kat. Global Healing Centers. Yes, we need it. We need it so badly. We need as many healers to be empowered and activated as possible. Joanna realized that she wouldn't actually want to work. So how would you spend your time, Joanna? Like, what would you do? Obviously, you're not going to just sit on the sofa for, 12, 16 hours a day. I cannot see you doing that for the next 30, 40 years. So how would you spend your time? I want to know that, because now, finally, honey bun, we're getting closer to who would you be if you didn't need to work? Oh, before you forget, where can you access the Millionaire Activations and PDF from track 2? I don't know what you're talking about. Can you message me, Kat? You might have already, and I apologize if you haven't. I haven't got back to you, but I don't know. And maybe you're talking about my classes. Are you talking about my classes of Millionaire Mindset Mastery and Quantum Wealth Alchemy? Are you talking about those ones? Those ones are launching in a couple weeks. Oh, yes. So Joanna, like in a sense, you would be working, right? Helping women, vulnerable women and children, but you would be doing your heart's work. So it doesn't feel like work a lot of the time. Hi, Jen. Good morning. You'd own a large property with small divided dog cottages. Oh, I love it. That's so beautiful. That's just gorgeous. That's gorgeous. Good job, everybody. Yay, doing your homework. Good. Why is it important to do your homework? Do you remember? Because if you want change, if you want growth, if you want something to be different, at some point, you're just going to have to pull your thumb out of your butt and do something different. Okay? Like, that's just as direct as I can be about it. You're not going to be able to sit on your sofa and hope that someone is going to come and change your life for you. It's just not going to happen. You're going to have to do something about it, okay? And that's why you can start gently with some of these practices, but I'm going to be just sharing just some of these exercises you can do for yourself week to week, and even showing up weekly here just for my live stream. that is still doing something for yourself. Okay. So it doesn't have to be monumental. I would 100% advise you not to try to change everything overnight. It'll create too much unconscious resistance. But you got to do something. Good. I think you've got it. I think I lectured you enough about taking action today. Cool. All right. So today, what we're going to talk about is everything is energy. Oh, what's going on here? Cool. Everything is energy. And why that's important is because the second part of our conversation today is we live in an abundant universe. And it is so yummy and it is so good. Okay. So what is energy? So energy on a physical, from a physical standpoint, is it's simply magnetism between molecules. Okay. Now, this cup, let's start with this cup, for example. Can you see it? No, it's blurred out. Oh, there we go. Okay, so this cup is energy. It is made of molecules, right? It's got elements, and they are held together. Hi, Shelly. Oh, stay warm, honey. Yeah, stay warm over there. Okay, so you've got the physical elements that are they're designed in molecules and they're held together by energy, by magnetism. Okay, so they're held together, they're moving, everything is moving, and then you have liquid, right? Inside of my cup, I have liquid. It's still energy, but the energetic bonds between the molecules are looser, which means that the liquid is a little bit more flowy. It's a little easier to change, right? And then it moves to a gaseous form, so you can no longer drink it or you can no longer hold it. But that doesn't mean that it's not present. It's just, hi, good morning, Lorena. Hey, Mary Grace. It's just that the bond between the molecules is so loose that the molecules can actually, right, they can just dissipate in the air. So this is energy. All of it is energy. Everything is energy. The particles themselves are energy. They're held together by energy. Even in the space in between particles is also energy, right? They're doing all of these really fascinating studies and deep dives into dark matter and what dark matter is. And it's, people are asking, is this consciousness? Is dark matter consciousness the energy that links all of the other kind of bits of energy together? There's lots of very interesting, actual, tangible scientific studies being done on this stuff. Okay, this is just kind of breaking it down into simplicity. Everything is energy. Everything is made from energy. Energy cannot be created, cannot be destroyed. It can only be redistributed. Okay, just some basics, some basic astrophysics. Cool. I only know astrophysics on a basic level, so it's never going to get super beyond basics. Okay, so when I say the statement, everything is energy, that is a practical scientific statement. This is not a woo-woo statement. Everything is energy. Everything is made from energy and everything is held together by energy. It's important that you know that. Okay. Cool. Phase 2 of this knowing. Not only, so us, our bodies, our thoughts, we are energy also. Okay, so we are energy. We're all of our metabolic processes are energy. We have currents running through our body. That is energy, right through our nervous system, giving us messages. So not only are we energy, but our metabolic processes put out an incredible amount of energy. And what do I mean by that? As our body is doing its thing, as it's breaking down food, as it's creating new cells, as our body is doing basic chemical, I say basic, but man, the body is far from basic. But as we're doing these kind of basic things, huge bursts of energy are being released from our body. Okay, with me so far? Yay, you can do it, Sophie. Good job. Does that make sense? So far, so good? Okay, so we're putting out energy, and this energy that we put out happens on a 24/7 basis. We're constantly putting out energy. Wow, 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 right? Again, this is not woo-woo. This is something that can be measured on scans, cold spectrometers. You can actually measure the amount of energy that you put out on a moment by moment basis. In the woo-woo world, this is known as our aura. It's our energy field. So this is where the yumminess of spirituality and science meet, right? That is a real thing. Our aura is a real thing. You can measure it. You can see what colors your aura is on actual scans. It's really fascinating, right? It's tangible, like it exists on this 3D plane. Now, our metabolic functions happen very similar to the sun. Okay, so when we spit energy out, we actually don't just release it like a supernova. It's not just going and just like exploding from us. It actually moves out of our bodies in magnetic loops. Okay, so if you want to get really into the nitty gritty of the astrophysics of this, I highly encourage you to watch a show called The Universe, episode 1. It's about the sun. And you'll be able to see how the sun spits out energy in magnetic loops. Now, that doesn't mean that some of the energy isn't released, but that is how our energy fields operate. We actually send the energy out and it comes back to us, okay? You might start to understand where this is going, but it's important for you to know that. Cool. Okay, now we have 7 energy centers. There are lots of theories. I teach the most basic ones, okay? Okay, good. Shelly's got me so far. Cool. Okay, if you have any questions, definitely pop them down there below. I'm happy to answer them. So we have 7 energy systems. These are called our chakras. We have our crown, third eye, throat, heart. Our solar plexus is right in our solar plexus, right below our ribs. We have a sacral chakra. Sacral is like 2 fingers below your belly button. And then you have your root chakra, which is your genital area. It's essentially at the base of your spine, right? So, but it's inside. So you've got these 7 chakras. Okay, so these are the energy centers of the body. We have all these meridians, all of these energy lines crossing throughout our body. But each chakra point is essentially kind of like an airport, right? You know, where planes go and it creates like this one central hub, and then there's lots of energy lines that run out from there. So our chakras are the biggest points of where energy meets essentially in our body. Okay. The reason why people are constantly clearing their chakras, right? Reiki is really popular for this. And you're like, yeah, I gotta clear your chakras. Are your chakras open? Or are they closed? You know, and we're like, oh, my third eye chakra is so open, but my sacral is so closed. And what the heck does it all mean? And why do we give a fuck? Okay. And we care that our chakras are open because our chakras move energy in and out of our body. That's where the main energy movement happens, in and out of our body, okay? So we want to keep our chakras open because that is how we can replenish, we can refuel, we can send our hot energy out into the world. Now, one of the really fascinating things that I recently discovered about chakras is that it's probably old news. I'm sure I'm not discovering any of this for the first time ever, but each of our chakras has its own timbre. It's got its own feel. So the energy that moves through the crown chakra has a really different feel than the energy that moves through the heart chakra. Now, the heart is capable of moving energy faster and more efficiently than any of the other chakras. Okay. So that's why the heart is always the focus of my personal work, because as long as we can keep the heart open, energy is moving, right? We're cleaning stuff out. We're bringing in new stuff. We are evolving. We are moving. We're not stationary. We're not stagnant. Okay. So that's why I always focus on the heart. That's why we always want to make sure that the heart is as clean as possible. It doesn't have those emotions sitting on top of there, or that hurt or that pain. We just keep it moving out, keep clearing, clearing, clearing. Something that's very fascinating to me specifically, and maybe to you, is that our chakras are not only responsible for moving energy in and out, but we can actually hold a space to clean the energy of the earth through our own personal chakras. Now, before you try to attempt something like this, please learn how to protect yourself from taking on energy that doesn't belong to you. Okay. Oh, keep going, but be careful. My team is like ringing. Keep going, but be careful. What do I have to be careful of? Just be careful. Super helpful. Thank you. Okay, cool. Okay, so, oh, be careful not to misspeak. Will you guide me? Absolutely. Okay, thank you. So we can clean the energy of the planet through our own chakras, and we can help raise the vibration of towns, countries, consciousnesses, groups of people, etc., etc., etc. That's powerful to know, right? It's powerful to know that not only can you clean your own energy centers, but you can actually show up and help other groups of people or countries, or when I say consciousnesses, I mean, groups of people that have a collective consciousness. Anytime more than one person gets together, a collective consciousness is created. So it would be the difference between LA, which has its own collective consciousness, and this networking group that meets specifically within LA. I think you're with me. Cool. So very powerful stuff. Our chakras can clean massive amounts of energy simply by filtering the energy out. But again, please don't attempt this at home until you've had some specific instruction on how to prevent your physical body from accumulating trauma that doesn't belong to you, because that is absolutely possible, and I do not recommend it. It's pain. You're inviting pain for absolutely no reason. Cool. Okay. So everybody with me so far? So everything is energy. Our bodies are a ton of it. We move energies through our chakra system. Our energy is moving in and out of us 24/7. So far, so good. Moving on. Okay, cool. Moving on. Not only can your energy frequency be measured, but when it is measured, it actually can come in, no, not can, does. It actually comes in at a specific level of hertz. So it's when it is measured on a spectrometer, it comes in at a specific level of hertz, aka a frequency. Our energy has an actual tangible frequency. Okay, say it's on a measurable system. We come in at a frequency. Now we're starting to understand, I'm sure, when you different kinds of statements like your vibe attracts your tribe. When you really feel like you vibe with somebody, it's because you're on the same frequency. We're on the same wavelength, we're on the same frequency. That is an actual thing. We are more easily magnetized to people who are on the same frequency level as we are. Not only, oh, that's cool, Shell. Didn't know the chakra was so powerful. Or you could use your chakra to help others. Cool, right? Yeah, you can heal the planet without ever having to interact with anybody, essentially. I mean, someone needs to, right? Someone needs to be clearing out trauma from the unconscious. But yeah, if you just wanted to do energy healing, there are actual healers who will travel around the chakras of the planet and do work on behalf of Earth, just with the different chakra points of the planet. Super fun. And they'll set up little encampments around it and invite other healers so they can magnify, and speed up the growth of that. Cool. So not only do you magnetize other people that are on your same frequency, you actually magnetize stuff that is on the same frequency as you. So you attract in the technology or the cars and the money, right? This is the point. This is the point of today, of you needing to understand the energetics, is so that you can tap into your abundance, so that you can have everything that you need in order to do the thing that you came here to do. Cool. Okay, so we magnetize in everything that is on our frequency. When we heal, when we release, when we move old programs out, old patterns out, and we evolve, evolving means we literally up level in our frequency. Our frequency shifts up. That's why it's called an up level. What does ascension mean? Ascension literally means the magnetic frequency of your energy field is moving upwards. It's super simple, but people like to overcomplicate it, because the more complicated it is, the more money you have to pay them to access that information and be able to utilize it in your life. It's a crock. Okay, so it's really, really simple. All you have to do in order to raise your frequency is heal. She says, oh, like it's an easy feat. It is absolutely not an easy journey. And many of you will be on your healing path for a really long time. Okay, but that's all part of evolution. So the higher up in frequency we get, the closer and closer and closer to love frequency. And when I talk about love, I'm not talking about like romantic love or, like siblings or parent-child love. I'm talking about that frequency that is creator. Creator is that unconditional positive regard energy that runs this whole thing, that runs existence, I guess. I'm talking about that frequency, the highest evolution that energy can be, that really, really upwards love frequency, okay? That is where our soul desires to get to bliss of being, not bliss in our experience. Having blissful experiences can be a daily occurrence, and it should be a daily occurrence, in my personal opinion. That's how I feel about life. But that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to do that as a planet. We're trying to do that as a galaxy, as a universe, and things like that. So our goal as humankind is to raise our vibration so that as a planet, so that our experience of this planet is just more pleasant. So it puts our growth on crack, right? We just speed up, we make more efficient our growth and evolution. Cool. One more thing that's important for you to know about this before we kind of switch directions a little bit is that your thoughts also carry energy, right? As these waves are emitting from our bodies 24/7, it's taking with it our intentions, our unconscious beliefs. It is, there's a a diagram that I drew in the first stream that explains how the unconscious works. It's really important that you know how, wait, is there? Did I do it? No, I can't remember. I'll have to go back and check. I don't know. I teach a lot. But it's really important that you understand that your thoughts and intentions, your unconscious thoughts, your unconscious trauma patterns, your unconscious limiting beliefs are being sent out on those magnetic loops 24/7. And your thoughts carry a tangible frequency that can positively or negatively affect the world around you. All you have to do is do a little research into Dr. Masura Emoto's work, really fascinating. His study on water and how thoughts and vibrations and sounds positively or negatively affected water molecules on a molecular basis, and just energetics, right? It's really, really interesting. And we can even do a test. Let's do a test right now. I'll show you. I will show you how thoughts can physically affect the world around you, okay? So just do this with your fingers. So you're making like 2 loops, but you're interlocking them, okay? All right, I'm gonna send you a thought wave, and I want you to try to keep your fingers together, okay? Sending now. Okay, stop. Cancel, cancel, cancel. Take that energy, dissolve it. Cool. Cool. Now I'm going to send you a new thought. Now let's see what happens. Beautiful. Okay, cool. So that is just maybe some of you didn't. That's fine. If you didn't have any kind of experience, that's totally fine. But some of you, I know, definitely did. And that is the power of the frequency of thought. And it can physically affect the world around you. By the way, being worried about someone or being afraid for someone weakens them. Believing in their empowered abilities, believing in their capacity to overcome challenges strengthens them. So you can actually choose to strengthen or weaken the people that you love and care about by deciding the frequency of thought that you are sending to them. This is really beautiful. So many examples that I have personally witnessed of just the powerful element of sending someone positive vibes, healing vibes, and witnessing that have a profound effect. So there was a program that I did called No Hustle Millionaire, and one of our students' fathers had to go in for some real serious surgery that was potentially life-threatening, and she was really concerned. So she asked us to do like a group healing kind of energy healing for him. And it was the most fascinating thing because we did, and we kept checking in, and every time she checked in, we would send a burst of positive healing. And by the time he got to the hospital, he didn't need the surgery anymore. Crazy. The stuff is nuts, man. You can't make this up. It just happens. It's it's so beautiful. It's so yummy. It's gorgeous. Really, really fun. Okay, now we're going to shift a little bit. We're going to pivot a little bit, and we're going to talk about how we live in an abundant universe. This is one of my favorite things to talk about because it's just fucking true. So in 2003, and I posted this down on my page. I'll go ahead and reshare it if I remember later today. But there was this just kind of musing, wondering experiment, I guess, that NASA did. And in 2003, they pointed the Hubble telescope into just into the sky, and they were observing a patch of sky that was it's about 1/10 the size of the moon. Okay, So just in one teensy patch, I mean, it's teensy for us, right? But it's about a tenth of the size of the moon. They focused the Hubble telescope on that patch for 4 months. Through the telescope, all they could see was black, just blackness. It looked like a void. But they decided to just leave it pointed at that patch for 4 months and take in as much light as they possibly could to see what was happening. And the images that they came back with were absolutely astounding. Absolutely astounding. What they found within that patch was over 10,000 galaxies. Over 10,000 galaxies. And in each of those galaxies, there's the potential to hold up to 1 trillion stars. 1 trillion. So we've got 1 trillion stars per galaxy. We've got over 10,000 galaxies in this teensy little patch of sky. And each star of the 1 trillion has the capacity to have an orbit of planets the same as our Milky Way galaxy. What? So we've got our Milky Way galaxy. We personally have, what, 8 planets now that Pluto was taken off, or was it put back on, or has it been taken off again? I lose track. So we have 8/9 planets in our orbit, orbiting our star, which is the sun, okay? And then that sun times 13 million, possibly, no wait, 1 trillion. That's a much bigger number. So our one sun multiplied by 1 trillion makes up a galaxy. And then in this teensy patch of space, over 10,000 galaxies. It's like, to try to wrap your head around the sheer capacity, the sheer vastness of existence within that one teensy space is kind of breathtaking. And yeah, maybe it's not infinite, but it sure as hell feels infinite, doesn't it? And that's only one teensy space. We have the rest of the sky to study still, right? So even if it's not exactly infinite, we sure as hell won't find the edge in our existence as a species. It keeps going. But we can definitely, with certainty, say that that is abundant. Woo, is that abundant, right? Oh, masses and masses and masses. So much, very abundant. We live in an abundant universe, and there is proof that that's the case. But okay, so let's take it a little bit more inwards. Let's bring it back to Earth. We live on an abundant planet. And all you need to do in order to recognize, in order to see, in order to get tangible evidence that we live on an abundant planet is to own a fruit tree or two. Fruit tree, tree that grows fruit. And right when it comes to the blossoming and the, the emergence of the fruit, there is such a plethora of fruit that is created that no matter how often you pick the fruit, and no matter how many animals in the neighborhood come to eat the fruit, and no matter how many bowls of fruit you lay out on your wall so that your neighbors, and how many bags of fruit you give away to people that you care about, no matter how much you try to capture the plentiful fruit that grows on these fruit trees, there will still end up being fruit rotting on the ground. This is amazing. This is abundance. We live on an abundant planet. Okay. There is an abundance of people. There is an abundance of resources. There's this town in Guatemala that is so beautiful. Nobody goes hungry there because all the farmers just bring their food to the stores, and everybody goes and gets the food that they need, and food is free. Food is free. So everybody takes what they need. There's very little waste, and there is no hunger because we live on an abundant planet. There are plenty of resources. Okay. And then also there's this town in Utah. It's so beautiful. And I just heard that Newport Beach has created a similar system. No, Redondo. Thanks. Has created a similar system, which is that there's programs that anybody who is homeless can go. They can actually help. They can contribute to the construction of their house. There's a micro loan for their mortgage that's affordable that they can then pay on a monthly basis, but they can pay something that's within their means, and no one is homeless. There is no homelessness. This is beautiful. This is where we're heading as a species, because we're recognizing that we live in an abundant planet. Now, for those of you who are like, okay, so we live on an abundant planet, and I believe you, but why is there scarcity? Why are there homeless people? Why are there millions of people who are starving to death when there is plenty of food? Well, because scarcity has been created. It is a man-made mentality that dates back centuries. When landowners desired to take more control over the people who lived on their land and created a false sense of scarcity by hoarding food and letting it rot in barns, so that people then started to starve to death, because starving people and desperate people are very easy to control. So centuries ago, this idea of scarcity was falsely created, falsely implemented into our thought matrix as a global society, and has been perpetuated over and over and over and over to this day. So that is being deconstructed as we speak. Over the next 15 or 20 years, that's going to, okay, the beginning of that, I'm being told right now, I'm being corrected. The beginning of that deconstruction is going to happen jarringly so within the next 15 or 20 years, and then the reconstruction will happen gradually over the next 200. Cool. Okay, so we talked about energy. We talked about we live in an abundant planet. So now let's bring this focus into, why do I give a shit? Why do you care? How does this help you to know this information? Okay, well, it helps you because abundance, resources have their own particular consciousness energy. So there is an energy flow that represents resources. I call it resource flow because that's the easiest way to delineate it. If you call it just money, that doesn't fully encapsulate what resource flow actually is. Resource flow includes money, but money shows up in multiple different tangibilities, right? Money shows up as a solid in cash and coin. Money shows up as a liquid in digital form, digital currency, and it shows up as gas, quote unquote, as resource flow energy. When you can connect with resource flow energy, when you are living in alignment, and you can easily and effortlessly funnel resource flow energy through your life, is how to create the resources that you need in order to live comfortably, in order to be able to live in alignment with all of the wealth and resources that you personally need in order to feel secure, in order to protect your family, and then also all the resources that you need in order to do your job, in order to do your mission. Resource flow is infinite. Abundance is infinite. It's hard to wrap our minds around the practicality of that because it doesn't have a pragmatic base at its root. However, resource flow is infinite. It comes from a bowl that never runs out. And so no matter how much you take from this bowl that never runs out, there's always going to be more. It will always be replenished. You taking from the bowl is not going to mean that so-and-so has less. There is no such thing. Energetically. Practically, yes. Practically on this planet, yes. But energetically, no. And energetics can 100% be turned into physical, tangible resources like money. We absolutely have the capacity to condense the energy of resource flow in its gaseous state and turn it into tangible money. And this is where alchemy essentially came in, right? Because they did the practical magic of turning one element into another element simply by harnessing and releasing the resource flow. So that's kind of how alchemy works. But we're not teaching about alchemy today. So this programming that has created this false sense of scarcity right now manages the globe, okay? Manages the planet, the scarcity mentality. It runs everything. It keeps people who don't know how to tap into resource flow. It keeps them in fear and anxiety. It keeps the people who are hoarding these hundreds of millions or hundreds of billions of dollars and not using it, not putting it out there. It keeps them in fear because it keeps them in, if I release some of this, I will have less, and then they'll take it all from me, and these kinds of ideas, right? Oh, I love that, Joanna. How great would it be to be able to receive resources and just focus on doing what we love? That's the plan. That, ding, 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 is the plan. That is one of Deep Ministries' initiatives, is to unwind scarcity on a mental level, on a mindset level, so that we're all just able to magnetize the resources that we want and need, either to feel safe and secure and or to do our work whenever we want to. That's the plan. And that is the entirety of track one. The entirety of track one within Deep Ministries is unwinding scarcity mentality. Okay, now I have many stories and examples of helping people tap into the infinite nature of abundance. And I just want to share a couple with you because these are people that you can actually talk to and they can verify that these are their stories. So want to share Vanessa's story. It's just fantastical. It's just magical. So Vanessa, a single mom, not quite making enough to cover her bills. So having to take money out of savings each month, feeling very much in fear because what happens if it never catches up and I end up spending all my savings anyway. So just kind of making it in her industry and in her life. And she joined Millionaire Mindset Mastery. And within 4 weeks, she had doubled her income. And 2 weeks after that, she was offered partnership at a successful competing firm within her industry. Whoa. So she went from struggling single mom to being partners with this really successful company that over time started increasing their monthly business to millions, and then more millions, and then more millions. And then it's just so crazy. And I just bumped into her at a fundraiser right before Christmas. And she was, she's like, oh, can can I tell you how I'm doing? And I was like, I would love to hear about how you're doing. She was like, so in 2021, we closed over $101 million in business. What? 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 Like, how does this happen? How is this possible? Except for to leverage open her access to the infinite amount of abundance that exists out there. What about Ashley? Oh, I love Ashley's story. If you're watching, hi, Ash. So Ashley, right, came to me because she was really struggling. She couldn't afford to pay for lunch that she went to with her mentor. So she rescheduled that lunch. We had a session. And by her next session, she had been offered a $4.1 million deal for marketing. It just dropped into her lap when, by the way, she had rescheduled. It was at the lunch that she had rescheduled with her mentor. Beautiful, gorgeous. And then that ended up not going through because COVID hit and it was real estate based. So that ended up not going through. And then she was offered another $1 million deal. And then another like thing came through. And then another and another and another and another. And the more junk she cleared out of her way, the more opportunities came her way. It was really fascinating. I love Ashley's story because it really speaks to the fact that clearing one thing out of the way doesn't mean that you've healed everything. There was so much continuous work that she had to do in order to keeping herself out of the way of her resource flows. Beautiful. And then my client Tara, hi Tara, shout out to you if you're watching. My client Tara, when she first came to me, she had just hit $1 million in her business. By the end of the first year, she'd already like tripled, quadrupled, multiplied it by 5. Like it was just such a crazy fast trajectory that shouldn't happen, but does. And how do these things happen? And what about my other client? Oh my gosh, I will omit her name for privacy reasons. She asked to be kept anonymous, but she was in real estate. And when she came to the program, she hadn't sold a thing in 4 months, which is hard, as you can imagine. But we quickly kept her out of her own way. We gave her access to resource flow within literally 2 months, guys. She was closing 100K months, 100K. That was money in her bank, 100K, not like 100K of deals. She went at a really quick pace from 0 to 100K months, and she did them consistently. Woo! Ooh, it's so good. It's so good. It's so juicy, so yummy. And then I had another client, Tim. He hadn't made a single penny. He had built his company up very successfully. He was running over $100 million company, but he hadn't made a single penny in 18 months. And we had one session, and he closed a $36 million deal by the next time I spoke to him, right? So abundance is out there. Resource flow is there, and it's there on infinite capacity. So you might be wondering, where the fuck is mine? What's going on? Where is my abundance? How do I tap in? Yeah, Salvi, I love it that you're keeping us you're keeping us apprised of your antics on this Sunday morning for us, evening for you. So cute. So the only thing standing in your way, my darling, my love, my treasure, precious one, the only thing standing in your way is you. The only thing preventing you from accessing resource flow is you. You are the one that's stopping your access. Now, of course, you're not doing it on purpose. On purpose, you are setting intentions and creating mantras for yourself, and you're making decisions. Oh, the angels are here. Cool. Hi. And you are making definitive decisions based on what you want in your life, and it's not happening because of your unconscious mind, right? This takes us back to Class 1. If you haven't seen Class 1, go watch it. Session 1. Please go watch it. Watch it. Watch it. Cat. That's what I'm here for. That is the purpose of Deep Ministries, one of them. Our global initiative is unwinding scarcity on a global scale. And then on a one-on-one scale, that's why we have our tracks and our classes. Okay. Now, we did talk about the fact that money is not the point of living, right? We talked in session 2 of Deep Ministries about the affluence addiction and that money is not the purpose of being on this planet. But the thing is that we've agreed to live within the money paradigm while we're on this 3D plane. That doesn't mean that we have to agree to all of the toxic rules. Those were man-made too. We can and will and are in the process of smoothing those out, molding them, remolding them, deconstructing and reconstructing them. And if we came here to make positive changes, isn't it only right that we have access to all the resources that we need in order to make those positive changes? Like, doesn't that just seem what's fair? I mean, we don't live in a universe that's designed to punish us. We live in a universe that's designed to support us. We live in an abundant universe. We live surrounded by infinite potential access to resources, right? So we just have to figure out how to step out of our own way. Guess what? I know how. Guess what? I've been teaching people how to do it. Guess what? It's working. Yay! Snaps for that. Very, very cool. So lots of things need to be healed within you, darling one. Lots and lots and lots of things, okay? So it is going to be an evolution. It's going to be a process. I promise you will be frustrated with it. I promise you will quit a bunch of different times, and that's okay. As long as you don't stay quit and you keep taking those steps forward. It's time to allow society to heal from all of this nonsense. Okay, so let's go ahead and just I want to focus your intentions today and get you opening up to the potential infinite resources that exist for you. So go ahead and just open your heart center. If you don't know how to open your heart center, imagine that there's a door over your chest and you just open it. If it won't open, maybe there's a key that you have about your person somewhere. Use the key to open it. If you can't find a key, grab a tool, look down at your feet. You've got a cosmic toolkit right there. Grab something, dynamite, a blowtorch. Go ahead and open your heart center. That's right. Go ahead and just open it. Beautiful. Gorgeous. I can feel it. It's yum. It's yum, yum, yum. Take some nice deep breaths. Any heaviness that's sitting on top of your heart, just breathe that out, right? Breathe it into your lungs, up and out of your mouth. Any heavy emotions, any heavy energy, into your lungs, up and out of your mouth. Maybe that's anger. To Joanna's point, it is really frustrating that we've been lied to all this time about the lack of abundance. Yeah, it is. Fuck, man. What could we have created? Yes, we're allowed to have those feelings. We're allowed to acknowledge them, and we're allowed to breathe them through, breathing them through. Good. And I want you, any thoughts, any voices, any words that are trying to pull you away from anything but the sound of my voice, just acknowledge them and let them go. Just let them drift off to the side. Just really keep yourself present to your own inner sanctum, okay? We're going within. That's why if there's something heavy, you're cleaning that out, just letting it breathe through. If it's a narrative, it's a story, you don't have to get locked in. You just witness it as it moves out, moves through you. Open your ears, open your brain, open your heart. Try to keep yourself as open as possible to what I am about to say. I want to hand you a mantra. Now you can, and I highly advise you to tweak this in a way that feels more resonant for you. It might not be exactly the languaging that you need for this, but I'm going to hand it to you, run it through your own intuitive filters, and come out with something that works for you. But I want this mantra to be, I am open to receiving more of what is divinely meant for me. Breathe it in. I am open to receiving more of what is divinely meant for me. If you notice resistance around I am open, then add in, I am working on being more open to. I am working on being more open to receiving more of what is divinely meant for me. If there's too much selfishness around the idea that you're allowed to receive what is divinely meant for you, you can absolutely tack on to the end for the highest good of all. I am open to receiving more of what is divinely meant for me for the highest good of all. Let that settle in. Don't simply redirect to what that's going to look like as it shows up. That's not the exercise. I actually want you to stay present with this statement. Stay present with it. Receive it. Let it move through your skin. Let it move into your bones. Let it settle in. Take it in. Breathe it in. Breathe it into your cells. Let it start to rework the way that your cells interact with each other and the earth. I am open to receiving more of what is divinely meant for me for the highest good of all. Locking that into place. Move through, breathe through any heaviness that comes up around that, any guilt, any shame, any self-punishment that comes up, any disappointment in yourself. Just breathe through it. Good, Kat. That's awesome. Kat's transmuting her heaviness by yawning. Cool. And then come back to the body, come back to the room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Eyes open, wide awake, and alert. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Eyes open, wide awake, and alert. How are you feeling? What is that like? What did you notice? What did you notice about yourself? What did you notice about your experience? Tell me, tell me, tell me. Oh, that's funny. I forgot you can see. Oh, you might not be able to see what I'm doing. Can't remember. No, I didn't share my screen. That's right. That's right. There was a tightness in your stomach. Yeah, that's guilt, babe. That's guilt. That's some of the manipulation also that you've experienced. I'm just feeling it. You've experienced. Oh, and you've mentioned a time or two that you've received a lot of manipulating energy through with money as the tactic, with money as the tool. Yeah, that makes sense. It's all got to be breathed out, all that energy. Good job for transmuting that. Excellent. Okay, so I would like you to come to a workshop I'm doing. It's free. Wow. Joanna noticed she didn't actually have resistance because the anger consumed that lack programming. Wow, good. Shelly, there's still some dark spaces, but you cleared out guilt and shame. Yeah, buddy. That's so good. Oh, yeah, it's so good. So I'm doing a workshop. It's called Transform Your Money Mindset in 2022. It is on shoot. I don't know. It's on a day sometime. I think. Let's take a look here. I think it's the 10th. Is it the 10th? Gee willikers. I should know, shouldn't I? I think so. Wait, let me check. It's not there. Do. Yes, the 10th. It's on the 10th at 5. It's called Transforming Your Money Mindset in 2022. I'm just going to pop the link in the comments there. I'll pop it into the copy up there. We're going to talk about what your focus is, what you need to focus on if you're looking to transform your money mindset in 2022. So come to that. It's not this Thursday, it's next Thursday. We'll have some fun. We'll spend some time together. We'll do a couple of neat things. In the meantime, Joanna, you see me every other day. I don't think it's quite that often. It would be cool if it was. Yes, come to the workshop. Do it's free. Everybody's welcome. Come. We're going to talk about how to transform your money mindset in 2022. What do you need to focus on? Because we really need to get this thing rocking and rolling, guys. We need to deconstruct scarcity mentality. We need access to our resources. We need to be out there doing our thing. And in order to do that, we need to be assured that our bills are going to get paid and our families are safe, right? It's all vital and it's all necessary and it's all right the fuck now. It's like the faster we can do it, the faster we can turn this god-awful situation on this planet around. So I need each of you to throw your hat in the ring and show up the way that you were designed to show up, okay? That's my call. That's my call to you. So whether or not you come to the event, you'll be most welcome, but it definitely is time to start realizing that the cavalry is not coming to Earth. There is no big wave of rescuers that's coming like in Lord of the Rings, right? There's always that surprise army that comes and turns the tide. Well, no, not happening. All that stuff from the movies that is magically created. Cavalry is already here and it's fucking us. Okay, so it's time for us to do our thing. It's time for us to step up, for us to do our healing work, to share our truths, to do what it is that we came here to do. Yes, you'll be there. Excellent. Excellent. I love it. I love it. I love it. In the meantime, make sure that you set your reminder for our stream next week. Next week, we're going to start our live online healing, which is going to be so fun. So I just want to kind of talk to you about how that process is going to work. I'm going to share the link to my Zoom. So I start a new Zoom every session just to keep it nice and secure. But essentially, I'll share the link to the Zoom and anybody can request to join. And then intuitively, I'm going to click on a name for a person to join, and we're going to do some live online healing, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be so fun. I just really wanted to get the meat and potatoes of the foundational stuff. We are in no means done with working through or talking through some of the foundational stuff, but I have covered the most important, like big chunks for you to know. So we are now going to begin to move into some of the individual and specific theories for each of the tracks that we need in order to create an evolved life of joy and abundance and freedom and and resource flow, alignment. Ooh, all of the yummy stuff that your soul knows exists for you and that is out there. Literally feels like I've been talking without taking a breath for the last 1 hour and 15 minutes. I so appreciate you for being here today. I cannot wait until we have a physical location so you can come and be there. We'll still be doing the live streams from the physical location. It's just going to be really fun for you. You know, if you're visiting California, you can stop by for the deep ministries of the day, and it'll be so fun. It's going to be wonderful. Thank you for being here. Your homework is to keep saying your mantra. Every time you notice your energy shifting into despair, frustration, lack, hopelessness, you're going to say your mantra. I am open to receiving more of what is divinely meant for me for the highest good of all. Okay, so that's your homework. Pretty simple, not too much soul digging or exploration. You can handle it. Savi, as long as there's karaoke there is always karaoke. It'll be fun because when we're at our in-person location, I am going to be sharing some of my songs and we'll be singing them together. Very fun. Yay, Shelly, that is great news. Her pipes just became unfrozen. Whoop, whoop. The energy of transformation. It's powerful stuff. Mwah, mwah, mwah. So much love to you. Have an amazing week. Remember to enjoy your experiences from one week to the next. Show up for it. Be present for it. Okay? I'm sending you so much love and light, and I'll see you soon.